This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady News Source.
Good evening, I'm Kevney Woodside, and welcome to Mock Show 570. Space heaters may seem like an inexpensive and easy solution to stay warm during this cold, bitter season, but beware. Consumer reports say they are responsible for over a third of all home heating fires each year. Reporter Taylor Bishotti tells us why space heaters are especially hazardous this time of year.
The reason is quite simple. People get careless.
Bundled up with coffee and looks like she's about to go skiing. But this is just the beginning of the cold front that this winter is bringing. Unfortunately for Jesslyn, she learned her lesson the hard way about space heaters while trying to stay warm.
Probably standing next to it for what feels like 10 minutes. I walk away, I sit down on the couch, and I feel like my skin rubbing against the couch, and I stand up, I'm like, what's going on? The space heater, I guess I had stood too close to it, had burned a hole this big in the back of my pants.
This isn't uncommon, as the majority of house fires from space heaters spike during the winter months of November through February, as people like Jesslyn are trying to stay warm. Firefighters say that space heaters start an average of around 25,000 fires per year and result in 300 deaths.
It was terrifying because I was trusting it to keep me warm, and it tried to burn me.
No matter how nice it might feel sitting next to a space heater, make sure to always keep heaters and things that can burn at least 3 feet apart.
A whopping 25% of the fires that were caused by combustible materials, like magazines, newspapers, bedding, or clothes, were within 3 feet of the heater.
That's actually good to know because I'm always reading about a fire. Oh, you mentioned that the fire marshal said that the main cause of this was because of cooking in ovens?
No, actually, with Thanksgiving next week, the primary cause of fires in homes is from ovens and house fires. So, Kevney, don't go take a nap next week when you put your turkey in.
Thanks for the advice, Taylor. People aren't the only ones trying to stay warm this winter. Some animal protection sites are urging people to take in stray animals during these cold days. I sat down with a girl who says she'd be happy to bring a stray into her home, and a vet who says that's probably the last thing she should do.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Amelia Hasbun and her dog Eve are trying to warm up by playing. It's so cold outside, even Eve needs a jacket. Hasbun adopted Eve a week ago. The dog could have become a stray after being rejected from a Seeing Eye Dog program due to a skin infection, but Hasbun jumped at the chance to bring her home.
Now I know she's going to be released, and yes, I definitely want to adopt her. So then I called my mama, and I was like, Mama, you going to help me pay for this?
Animal protection agencies like Care to Care and Alley Cat Allies are releasing photos like these to get people like Hasbun to take in stray animals for a night this winter.
You know, it always hurts my feelings when I do see, like, some dogs that are pets staying outside through really cold nights. That, to me, is considered animal cruelty.
Dr. Ira Rolfe is the director of UGA's vet clinic. He says Hasbun's kindness could end up killing her because stray animals can carry rabies.
If you are one of the unfortunate souls that contract rabies, then you're generally going to die. It is a almost universally fatal disease.
So if you're walking down the street and you see a stray animal with eyes as pretty as Eve's here, make sure you follow the next steps before taking it around your family or your other pets. As for Hasbun, she says she will continue to protect animals like Eve. And Eve, well, it looks like she'll do the same for her. Hasbun says Eve is considered a babe in the dog world and is constantly surrounded by male dogs. So her barking at the little boy at the end of the video was just her way of playing hard to get. Typical woman. The state of Georgia has new equipment to prevent dangerous conditions this year. You probably remember these scenes from this year's snowy gridlock, but the Georgia Department of Transportation is vowing to never let the roads get this dangerous. New snow plows, roadside sensors, and tankers are ready to prevent icy road conditions before they happen. GDOT conducted a winter weather drill to make sure they're ready if and when winter strikes occur. Coming up, find out who else could be seeking shelter from the cold in the Miller Learning Center over the holidays.
don't worry. 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90-mile-per-hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Welcome back. I'm Anna Tarullo. You may be getting ready to leave Athens for the Thanksgiving holiday, but there's one group who is actually trying to find a place to stay: the homeless. Some of the homeless shelters have been filling all of their beds. Reporter Kendall Trammell tells us about how some UGA students say they think they've even seen them on campus. So, Kendall, are homeless people really sleeping in some of UGA's buildings?
Well, that's the problem, Anna. There's not an exact way to tell who's coming in and who's coming out of buildings like the Miller Learning Center. And if they're not causing a public disturbance, UGA officials say they can stay in the building as long as it's open.
Homeless shelters like Bigger Vision work hard to help people looking for shelter. But even with 36 beds, it's a challenge to say yes to everyone.
Coming in at 8 really just guarantees that they'll get in out of the weather.
Those who aren't fortunate enough to be on one of those 36 have to search elsewhere. And there's no way to tell for sure, but some UGA students think they've seen some homeless people looking in places like the Miller Learning Center.
He seemed cold and was sleeping on the bench, and so at that point I felt very sorry for the individual who did not have a place to stay.
Anyone can walk into the Miller Learning Center. It may be centered around students, but it's still a public space.
Obviously, we're a public institution, and we welcome anybody who wants to use our resources. Our priority are students, faculty, and staff.
Unless there's a security risk, UGA officials say that anyone can come in and enjoy the services of the building. Now, there is one policy that UGA has for the MLC. After midnight, UGA officials can come around and ask students and anyone that's in the building to show their UGA IDs. And if you don't have a valid reason for being in the building, you may be asked to leave. I'm Kendall Trammell, live in the newsroom.
Thanks, Kendall. The MLC will be open during the break from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Monday through Wednesday and will be closed Thanksgiving Day and Friday. The world's busiest airport will be even busier during the Thanksgiving holiday. Airlines for America has released a 12-day Thanksgiving travel forecast, and no surprise, Atlanta is predicted to be the busiest. If you've flown through Atlanta, you're no stranger to long waits, long lines, and cramped spaces. The estimated rise in travelers over the 12-day Thanksgiving holiday will make Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport even more crowded. With a projected 31,000 more passengers traveling across the country per day than last year, the world's busiest airport will be even busier. And in case you're still mapping out your last-minute travel plans, be sure to avoid the Sunday following Thanksgiving, which is predicted to be the busiest in 2014. Thanksgiving and the Friday following the holiday are projected to be the lightest. Airlines across the nation will be working to accommodate the estimated 2 million travelers per day that are expected between tomorrow and Tuesday, December 2nd. Ranking along with Atlanta as the busiest airports over the holiday are LAX, Chicago O'Hare, Dallas-Fort Worth, and New York's JFK. Coming up next, find out what programs led UGA to reaching a new record high graduation rate.
Get out to the forest.
Let the kids connect to their roots. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah! Woo-hoo! Hey guys, wait up!
And discover the wonders of nature with your family.
These trees are the key to our way of life.
Fresh air.
What a glorious morning!
Clean water.
Woohoo! This is great!
An endless forest adventure.
Let's rock this jungle! Yo, this is untapped territory. How amazing!
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Students at the University of Georgia are graduating faster than at other colleges. I'm Stephen Farmer, and reporter Brian Garcia explains why incoming students can expect that trend to continue.
Move your mic up a little.
Six-year graduation rate increased to a record level this year, and some new programs they're starting are going to make students graduate even faster. Ringing the bell is a UGA tradition when you graduate, and for many students, the wait is being shortened. UGA has been tracking the freshman class of 2008, and they found out a record 84.6% of those students graduated within 6 years. This is considerably higher than when UGA began tracking graduation rates in 1974, where only 55% of students graduated within 6 years. New programs aimed at shortening the time it takes to get a degree have helped UGA's 4-year graduation rate to increase from last year's to 63% this year. Director of Public Relations Sam Fahmy says in 2011, UGA launched their first-year Odyssey program requiring students to take a small class on a variety of subjects, hoping to get students closer with their instructors.
Helps create stronger bonds between faculty and students and really enriches the learning environment and gets students involved in the academic experiences and helps them really adjust to the college environment.
New Technology is another program that UGA points to for raising graduation rates. Last month, UGA switched its online registration program to make it simpler and clearer for students to track their own progress. UGA is starting a program focused on helping students identify their strengths and interests earlier in their college career. Still, UGA is not done improving with their graduation rate and has plans to improve it in the spring.
We're pleased that our rates are on the rise. We certainly feel like we can continue to make progress. A number of academic initiatives have been put into place in the spring.
Hired over 100 faculty members ranging from teachers to advisors. They hope more one-on-one time between advisors and students will help keep students on track to graduate on time. I'm Brian Garcia, live from the newsroom.
The 6-year graduation rate has increased each of the last 5 years. College graduates are paying more money for more years because of their student loan debt. Reporter Connor Bowles of CNN created a fun visual to give you the facts about college debt. Let's take a look at this by the numbers. Let's say I want to get a degree. Well, the average cost of a 4-year public degree is over $60,000. Just like millions of other college students short on money, I have to get a student loan. Over the last 10 years, the number of federal student loan borrowers has shot up 69%. Between 2012 and 2013, $238.5 billion in student aid was doled out. My schoolmates and I will borrow an average of $26,500. After 4 years and a brand new degree, I have nothing but potential and a massive amount of debt. Now I have to start paying back the loan, and that should only take me about 10 years with a monthly payment of $277. Over $6,700 is interest. Balances of student loans, like these, have eclipsed both auto loans and credit cards. That Georgia Bulldog in your license plate is helping some students go to college. Sam Fahmy from the Office for Academic Affairs in Provost sat down and told us how.
That the Georgia Department of Revenue is working with us. Those University of Georgia license plates that you see on vehicles, funds from that go toward need-based scholarships.
The university says this is important because hard economic times have caused tuition rates to go up, hitting low-income families the hardest. Previous UGA endeavors, such as Gateway to Georgia, raised over $1.9 million. A local gym is trying to help people lose weight, especially over the holiday season. Find out more after the break.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach
likes
your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Looking for these? You drive Buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I wish I was in school.
If only I had a math test today.
Or a book report to give. I wish I was in school. I'll stay after class. I'll clean the chalkboard. I'll do extra homework. I'll skip recess. I wish I was in school. I wish I was in school. I really wish I was in school.
School ends, but free lunches for your kids don't have to. Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/summer meals for help. Together, we're feeding America.
There's one unwelcome visitor that no one wants: weight gain. Reporter Alyssa Purser tells us what one gym is doing to ward off the weight.
Yes, Lauren, I spoke with the owners of a local gym here in the Athens area. The gym offers programs to help you lose weight and also gives tips on how to stay healthy during the holiday season.
Kettlebells, push-ups. CrossFit Oconee keeps their workouts hard, but their message simple.
Faith, family, and fitness. We run our gym based off of our faith. We are a family atmosphere, and we help you reach your fitness goals.
The members work hard when they come in the door, but the trainers say health and fitness isn't just about working out. It starts in the kitchen.
You just want to kind of stay away from the fried foods. I mean, turkey's not bad for you, ham's not bad for you. We kind of look at it as if you can kill it or grow it, you can eat it. So go into the holidays with the same mindset.
The gym has classes for adults, high school athletes, and even kids trying to combat obesity beginning at a young age.
We do have kids programs. We start out from 7 to 12, and in that class we just work on core work, letting them learn how to use their body and helping them, stay fit and the ones that do need to lose some weight and stay active. It's just to get them moving.
And it's really critical to keep these kids moving during the holiday season. She says that's when they see their biggest peak in membership with kids and high school athletes. Live in the newsroom, I'm Melissa Purser.
And CrossFit Oconee is located on Hog Mountain Road in Watkinsville. Georgia's obesity rate is among the highest in the country, the 18th highest to be exact. Mississippi and West Virginia have the highest rates. Almost 1/3 of adults in Georgia are classified as being obese, and this can lead to a variety of health issues like diabetes. But according to a nonprofit group called the Trust for America's Health, this can also lower work productivity. Businesses lose more than $4 billion every year from obesity-related issues. More people call out sick, businesses have higher health care costs, and worker productivity is lower. The lower productivity costs businesses over $500 per worker per week. Georgia's high obesity rate is especially concerning because a leading health institute says it could mean more cases of cancer. Excess body weight contributes to as many as 1 out of 5 cancer-related deaths, according to the American Cancer Society. Obesity is specifically linked to 8 different types of cancer, including esophagus, pancreas, colon and rectum, breast, uterus, kidney, thyroid, and gallbladder. The National Cancer Institute says that based on current trends, obesity will lead to about 500,000 more cases of cancer in the United States by 2030. Coming up next, find out how some students got to experience some holiday favorites a little early.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
Welcome back. I'm Macy Lauren. Students will be heading home for Thanksgiving at the end of the week, but today they got the chance to get a taste of home a little early. Reporter Katie Kraft is here with us to tell us more about that event. Katie?
Hi, yeah, Macy, I like turkey, pork chops, casseroles, and I got everything I wanted, and so did a lot of other people today at UGA's annual Taste of Home event.
The country 10 UGA got to experience some home cooking at the dining halls today. It marks the 27th anniversary of the Taste of Home event organized by Food Services.
That has a submission form in which parents can fill out, submit the recipe to us. We receive about 1,000 recipes every year.
Food Services decided to do the event right before Thanksgiving because they say it is easier for family members to participate and see the recipes they submitted. There were a variety of recipes sent in, ranging from vegetable side items to even fruit-flavored meat entrees.
We had a peachy chicken that was interesting, but more or less for a taste of home. The menu is more comfort food for our students. I think it connects with their parents back home.
The event is not just for the students to enjoy, but for the parents as well.
The parents came in today that sent the recipe in, the mother did, and they had a good time here. We sold a lot of pork chops today.
And the winner of the best recipe receives a Taste of Home plate.
You still have the chance to stop by and taste the new recipes for yourself. They're announcing the winners later tonight after everyone has had the chance to eat.
And what time does this close tonight?
It's going until the dining halls close at 8.
Okay, well thank you, Katie. It sounds delicious. An animal rights group is calling for you to save a life by ditching the turkey at your Thanksgiving table. The Humane League was on campus advocating for animal-friendly options for the holiday. Atlanta Director Christopher Gwen says the theme of gratitude throughout the holiday season should extend to animal rights.
It's an interesting juxtaposition when that's the theme of the holidays, and then we're eating the bodies of animals that wanted to live and didn't need to die.
There are vegan and vegetarian options for every item on your Thanksgiving menu. A national health group says that there are 3 tips you need to keep in mind to avoid overeating this holiday season. Eat with fewer people. The study showed that food intake actually increases as more people join your table. Use smaller plates to control portion size and limit the amount of food you can take. And don't fast before you feast. This can actually lead you to eat too much when it's time for dinner. More tips can be found on Cornell University's Food and Brand Lab website. We're ending tonight on a Thanksgiving note. We hope you all have a safe and happy Thanksgiving.
We will all be at home with our family too, so Mock Show 570 will be returning in 2 weeks.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for our post-show critique after the break.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Grady News Source is a student production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
The people here are warm and friendly and actually quite affectionate.
For me, it's like the people and just like the campus is like super pretty.
There's a sense of pride on campus and a sense of community that you really can't find anywhere else.
People's great, the food's great, the dogs are great.
Everyone's been just super welcoming.
What if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow.
My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs, just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
All right, and welcome to the Mock Show 570 post-show critique. I'm Michael Castanier, executive producer. I'm joined by the director, the senior producer, the crew, who is, not the crew, but the reporters and journalists who are doing their second to last show. One show after this. Oh, let's hear it again. Oh. Okay. That's nice. That's nice. And as always, we will start with the director, some thoughts on the newscast, and then the senior producer, and we'll walk through the newscast. So, you're on. And introduce yourself, Jordan.
I'm Jordan Dawson. I directed today's post show. Overall, I thought.
No, you directed the show. This is the post show.
I directed today's show.
Unless you've got something underneath there.
Nope, no more surprises. But about today's show, I think it overall went pretty well. It was smoother than my last show, which I wasn't that proud of. But it's nothing you guys' fault. It's all me. But what I noticed, I hope you guys can forgive me for this, I tend to not speak. So if you can bear with me on that, I'll try to get better as we go along. But I know especially for the crew, it's hard for them to take cues if I don't tell them what to do. Another thing that I noticed is the...
Yeah, and you're doing a nice job now. Why don't you do it there?
I don't know. I guess I'm not
And the same
nervous
thing
right now.
in all seriousness, when you're doing the meeting,
Yeah.
I need to know who's running the show.
Yeah. During... Throughout the meeting, I know exactly what you mean. I'm not a very assertive person. I prefer not to be because I just I just associate assertiveness with just being mean. So I just tend to be more passive and just try to give everybody as much time as they need. But in this kind of business, it's not the best thing because people can take advantage of that even if it's not intentional. So I guess improvements on my part were just to be a little bit more assertive. Just try to figure out how to be more assertive in a friendly kind of way, or in a not mean kind of way. But again, I liked the show today. It was pretty good. Another thing that I noticed that I didn't do was just bringing up your lower thirds. So the anchors in A block, B block, and C block. I forgot all of your lower thirds. I hope that you weren't too intent on having those up. Okay.
Yeah, hold the mic still. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, from a technical point of view, the only other issue was we get black at the top of most of our packages and sound bites, and I'm not sure there's a heck of a lot we can do with it. There's something to deal with the TriCaster and the rolling of the things, but when you say take, we have to be really dead on button, otherwise there's a flash frame of...
Yeah. The only way I think that we can resolve that is just to take it immediately, just like a few seconds after the end of whatever package or VO that we have, and that would just completely eliminate that problem.
Yep. Cool. Anything else from a production side?
No, that's all.
Cool. All right, then we will let the senior producer talk.
Oh, I have this.
She's got her own. She's a big wheel.
Okay. So overall, oh, sorry.
For the director?
Just like it for technical side, there you go.
Here, this is subtle.
All right. Know your positions, and anchors should only be in an anchor position.
Yeah, we had a lot of confusion with both the leadoff and also with you. You were in the sports position, taking the sports mic, and we got screwed. The cameras didn't know where to go. The cameras are set, remember, 1, 2, sports, weather. Those cameras are pretty well set down. The only thing we can adjust for is height, and when we start doing it, you were off this way, and then on top of which you had the weather mic on. So again, I keep telling you, you know what? It's your face on air, so you make the decision. I want to check and make sure, and in doubt, I ask the ugly guy behind the camera and say, hey, is that shot okay? Do I look okay? Do they got mic? Do I need anything? And he says, yeah, Castanier, you sound as stupid as you ever did. You're fine. Go for it, babe. But that's your job, too. It is a two-way street. Okay? Any other notes there? No.
Okay.
Now you're on.
Okay, so overall, I thought everything ran really smoothly. I was really proud of everyone for getting their stories in. When we were pitching them today, no one had to go back and do anything. I think making a Google Doc beforehand is a really good idea, and everyone's angles made sense, maybe because it's Thanksgiving, so like that helps. Like, okay. So can I just go through each block?
Give us overview of it, and then we're going to go through, each individual section, and I know you've got notes on each individual block, right?
Overall, to make sure that we're not making anchor packages at the last second, because that threw us off time-wise. We were 30 seconds heavy at the beginning and ended up being like a minute and a half light at the end. So, or was it?
We got to figure out where our times were off pretty dramatically. Most significantly, the last package, the Taste of Home, it only ran 1:15. We put it in for 1:50, so we're about 30 lighter than what we're doing. You've got to double check your times. That was the segment producers and the senior producers' responsibility. Because all of a sudden we picked up 30 there, and we picked up something else in the D block where the times weren't there.
I think they just talked fast.
So we need to get those things all cleaned up, because otherwise that's why we had that silly looking bump shots and stuff in order to fill it.
Okay. Can I do each block now?
Yep, well, we'll go through each block, and we're going to do it with the producer of each block. So why don't we start with the A block? Jordan, thank you.
We need to start with C block because...
Oh, that's right, C. I forgot, because he's got to go to the bathroom.
Very true.
No, where are you going again? Remind me.
I have to interview Coach Hughes, I think this is how I say his name, the UGA hockey coach, at like 8.
Okay. All right, talk to us about the C block. You start, and then I want the senior producer to chime in.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I produced C block today with Brian and Steven. The main thing would be that some of our things ran a little bit later than what they should have, especially when we had to switch our VO into an anchor package. So we need to get that done a little bit faster, definitely. Bring everyone in to help work out on that. Besides that, I kind of liked how everything went. We had a little bit of a problem with, where Steven was standing and, that mic situation. So I guess we just got to be a little more prepared. Muchas gracias. And that's about it for me.
Okay. I have some notes, but senior producer, you?
Yeah, besides everything that you just said, there were no lower thirds on your package, and the audio was kind of off.
Audio the audio was way off.
Is this for the anchor package? Or
this is graduation rates.
Graduation rates,
okay,
yeah.
So that's the...
And then you guys used thoughts from the same person.
And you can do that, but you got to let us know and talk to the viewer, because otherwise it looks like a mistake. So we used them fairly extensively in the...
And he had a lower third in the second time he was used, but not in the package at the beginning.
Yeah, so you've got to super these folks, because that's what we're counting on. And if you're going to use the same person the second time later, just say, we also talked about, to Peter Harrington or whatever the heck his name was, about some other issues related to this and dealing specifically with this, and here's what he had to say about that. So the viewer knows that you know, okay?
Right.
But you guys were natural on camera, so that was good. Getting more comfortable, that's always great. Okay, next. That's all I got.
Yeah, tough cookie. All right, yes, A block, please, producer.
See you guys.
Say hello to the coach for us.
I'm Morgan Leaks, and I produced
Morgan.
the A block. And I thought we did a really good job. I was concerned when we went into the B block. I was concerned about the time because we had to kill, I think it was B7. But I don't know if we didn't put in a right time or something. But I thought our stories were good. I liked how Kevney and Taylor both went out and shot a lot of their own stuff and got some good interviews, I thought. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the times were fine. I just think overall it was just too long, but then I also really appreciated you going back and trying to cut it all down at the last second. That was really good. But it's still just, we were already 30 seconds over, so that's why we had to kill B7. And Kevney and Taylor, y'all looked good on camera. And I think the prompter wasn't working or something, but you were very natural with the look downs and stuff like that. And you looked at her, so it flowed nice.
That's it.
Yeah.
The Fire Starters package, it seemed like we were off mic in the interview. I don't know where that mic was located, but the sound wasn't that good. And Yeah, the two of you have gotten a routine going, and that's fine up to a point. You got to be careful as to where, I'm sorry, when we're talking about fire starters and stuff, yeah, when you're doing the greeting, that's fine to be smiling, but boy, when you start getting into fires and people getting hurt and you're smiling, you're sending a really wrong message. And the one thing you will not do is editorial comment. I don't give a rat's ass when you say typical woman, okay? You can't do that, period. No, this is not a discussion, okay? Nobody does that, all right? I don't even do that, and I'm the most opinionated SOB around. You can't, because the viewers are sitting there saying, all right, I'm writing you off, okay? You've got to be, as much as possible, the impartial journalist. I had 2 versus 135 on the cold animals. Was there a difference in times there, according to you, senior producer?
No, the times are right.
Okay.
It was just a very long package, and you said nothing is worth 2 minutes.
Yeah, basically we started running way long, and it's like, I'm sorry, at that point, you know, it's hard to keep the viewer's attention. You know, I make the somewhat off-color joke, the second coming of the good Lord deserves 2 minutes, but not much else. And cold animals were cute, and I loved the shots, and I loved the pictures, but not that long. We got to bring it down. All right, cool. B block.
Hello. My name is Rebecca Scott, and I produced the B block. We had B7 killed, which I was very sad about because that was the one that I wrote. And Anna helped.
Yes, I know. I edited that 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I was very happy.
And it really is the point. That's why all the times are critical. Because, I mean, in essence, it's, you know, the analogy that it is a team thing. And if one of you does something, basically, you manage to screw the rest of them. You know, and yeah, I quite frankly would be, if it was me and I'd spent, 2 hours writing a story, and I'm thinking, whoever the hell's package ran 30, 40 seconds too long and cost me my story, I'm gonna have your blood, I don't want that. That ain't happening. It's all part of that team effort routine.
But me, Anna, and Kendall, we worked really well together. Kendall had some really great ideas.
Yeah.
And so we were really prepared, and we were good at checking each other, like, hey, do you need help? Yeah. And
yeah, that's awesome.
y'all had a really good presence on camera. I know we were a little thrown off with B7 being killed, but I think we handled it like professionals.
Yep. Cool.
I actually agree with all of that. I didn't have any major critiques for them at all. It ran very smoothly. Everyone looked good on camera.
Yeah. The only 2 minor ones, again, one's a compliment, one's a criticism. On the homeless package, don't ever open with a static shot. You had a static shot of just a building and a sign. That's boring as hell. And you had nice shots of people moving. I want to see movement all the time. There's very rare that there's a static shot worth it. In the package, you held up the sound bite, which was good. We killed the audio and held up the face, so the director was able to get out of that pretty clean, so that makes a big difference. And the only other one is, the pause between stories. Break eye contact, give me a little bit of a verbal pause that tells the viewer, okay, something is changing. So, cool. All right, we did C, so let's go to D.
I had to make my way up from the back. I'm Jacob Moore. I helped produce the D block today, and I thought that it ran smoothly. I thought that, technically we did a good job. We worked well together, which was really good. I thought that we also did a good job of helping each other out whenever we needed one person to help someone else out because they were not running behind, but they just had a little bit more to do. So I thought we did well with that. I thought the package, it was good going out and getting those interviews, and I thought you had some good, the opening was really good. I thought where you said barbells and then you had the sound coming in after that. I thought that was a really good opening. The only thing I would say about the package would be the framing was off on the shots. And then
on the interview, yeah.
And then the lighting, I thought could have been lighting and exposure. I know it's hard to light in inside like that, especially when there's so much overhead, but I thought the lighting could have been a little bit better. But then I thought that it was a good job going out and getting those interviews and the B-roll. I thought that on camera, Lauren, you looked good. You spoke well. The only thing I would say would be to maybe look down in between stories just to help show the reader that, not the reader, the viewer, they're not reading the newscast, they're watching it, show the viewer that you're transitioning from one story to the next. But I thought it went smoothly, and I thought we worked really well together, which is good.
Cool.
They keep taking everything I have to say.
Well, you just re-emphasize it.
Okay. The only the only critique I had is that Alyssa, you talked kind of fast when you were in the newsroom, and I think just would have slowed down, then we could have that was my only major thing. But you guys all really did work well together. I didn't have any issues. I didn't have to come ask you a bunch of times, and you were the first ones to give me your time, which was very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, and again, I would echo what he said. The framing of the interview was the only bad part. Nice open and everything else, and it was a good little story, and it's unfortunate because it was like, I'm sorry, where is that woman? She's down here, and it's all framed out, and so that became it. On a positive note, the Georgia obesity rates and the obesity and cancer, we actually tied the stories together. More that we can do that, tie the story together, say, okay, that brings up the next question of so-and-so and so-and-so. That keeps a flow going for the audience, and that's important. Cool. E-Block.
All right, I'm Charlotte Hall, and I was the producer for the E-Block. I think overall we did pretty well. We worked well together, we communicated well together, and I think we did well in going out today, this morning, and getting shots and helping each other out. Katie and I went out earlier and got shots for some things for Macy, and then after my class in the afternoon, Macy and I went out and got some extra stuff for Katie's package, and so I think we did well in that and going out and getting stuff and helping each other. There were some issues in the package, I know, with the mic for our shots. Our mic actually died mid-interview, so we had to go off of the camera mic. So that was the issue with that. But I thought other than that, we had some good B-roll shots and stuff like that. What else? Yeah, I think we got Katie's eHollywood story today. She was on camera the entire time. There was some mixed up, I think, with who the anchor was and who the reporter was. So yeah, they had the camera on Katie during the anchor shot. But you guys worked through it really well, and you guys were natural. And yeah, you guys looked good on camera and stuff like that.
Could you do that again?
There you go. And but yeah, and I know with our package, we said, I was trying to explain during the meeting that the package itself was $115, but the overall package segment was about $145 with the tag and the lead and all that stuff. I think that was the confusion, and that was my part, so my bad. So, but other than that, I thought they did great, and yeah.
Yeah.
Did she steal everything you had to say too?
Yeah, I was gonna comment on the 20 seconds that we saw of Katie, which was really funny. But you did a good job nodding and It was.
She did a good job of nodding.
It was really funny. I don't know. And then I was gonna say that in the package that Nat sound was really loud in the back, but I think that was because you had to use the camera mic. I didn't know that until now. But yeah, those are my only things. You guys are very easy to work with also.
You also kept you company during.
Yeah, when I was sitting there doing nothing, so that was fun.
Cool. All right. Senior producer, last words from you. Round up.
I just think everyone did a great job today, especially with going out and doing interviews and getting all of that. I think it's the first time that every group has gone out and actually shot B-roll for the day and gotten thoughts from people. That was very good, and yeah. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I'd probably echo some of that. I was glad to see everybody going out. I'm glad to see you doing the stuff. One of the things we've changed with this mug show is you're pretty well generating, even though you've got time ahead of time to work, you're generating the stuff the day of, and that's the reality of what you're doing with News Source, and that's going to be real critical as you go into that. I think the best thing I liked was I think virtually every group said the same thing. We all worked well together, and that is really critical. The issue of one person can take down the whole team really is true. And I don't want to, go too much to the football analogy, but it was sort of like the last game that Georgia had, right? And the guy does the 97-yard touchdown run, and guess what? Some dumb clock gets a foul and has to call the whole play back. And 97 yards was wasted. It becomes that kind of an issue, and it is for you guys working in the newsroom in a news setting. So That is nice to hear worked well together. Remember doing the reporter intros to the pieces? For some reason, we seem to keep forgetting that. You're all famous, or will be, no doubt, but not yet.
Oh, and tags after packages.
And tags after
Someone's
packages. Even if it's an
didn't
anchor
have that.
package, I've got to come back to the anchor. We didn't do that on.
I think it was C Block.
Yeah. So let's do that. And the other one is local, local, local. You had a couple of stories which were national more than anything else, and they were interesting, but you got to localize it. You got to bring it home and bring it back to me. So that's the main things. Otherwise, though, I guess the biggest thing is hearing worked well together. That's critical, because you guys, I've already looked at the next semester, and there's going to be a mix, but you guys are going to be blood relatives in the next semester. And you only have now one newscast to go. So for those who may watch this on a streaming, we're off on next week, but then December, the first week. One last newscast. And actually, you can invite your parents. There you go. Now really have some fun. Woo! All right, well, thank you, and good night. Huh? Yeah, I probably will be.